I kept thinking, I can't keep doing this. I mean, I'm getting older. I need to be more healthy. I've got to find some way, to really hit this head on and get it resolved once and for all. I knew there was a major problem way beyond just, eating better, because that really just would work for periods of time, and then that was it.
I think it was just the realization that I didn't want to be on a diet for the rest of my life. I didn't want to, I knew how to lose weight. All of us have lost weight. And the realization that it wasn't working because it kept coming back on, and that I wanted to be happy inside.
It was so frustrating knowing what to do, but not being able to do it and not understanding why. So I think I was at a point where I thought to myself, I really do need help with this.
I felt hopeless, and as an athlete who perseveres through everything, it's weird for me to feel hopeless, and I just felt out of control with my eating and dieting with the yo-yo dieting and circling back to square one every day.
I was always hesitant to ask for help. I always thought that I, could do this myself, and more the case even that I had to do it myself because I didn't deserve help, because, I made a mess of my life and my health and everything. And so I needed to undo that all by myself.
And the way I was talking to myself, and the way I was approaching food, and the way I was approaching stressors that I had in my job, my career, in my personal life, was still too centered around food, and using food as a reward, using food as sometimes even a punishment. If I think I did badly, I needed to punish myself by not eating. All that stuff was still, really a problem for me. And you would think, after all these years of practicing and trying, that I could have mastered that, but I couldn't. I really needed the help. It's amazing because, you keep thinking, oh, this should be something you just, intellectually learn, and then you've got it, but you don't. You have to learn it emotionally. You've got to really feel it before it takes hold and becomes something you can depend on for the rest of your life.
I was no longer content to just exist in that kind of miserable state by, the world was getting smaller and smaller. There were fewer places I'd be willing to go, fewer people I'd be willing to see, fewer things I'd be willing to do.
To start off with the numbers, I lost a little over 23 pounds, and I'm still going in the right direction. I have eliminated sugary Diet Cokes and coffees that I used to have 4 or 5 of a day.
I've lost almost 50 pounds with Lisa, which is amazing. And I'm feeling a lot more energized, which was honestly my major goal. And also I think, one of the things that I've talked to Lisa about is it's not just even about weight or even health. That's wonderful and that's great too. But Lisa's also helped me with, her techniques also work in other areas. So having a little bit more of a work-life balance, learning to be a little more assertive and maybe, saying no when something comes up instead of just always accommodating other people. These are the types of things that have been helpful just even beyond nutrition.
I notice my confidence is just so much higher because I have the power to say no when I'm eating. I have the power to say yes when I'm eating, and there's nothing that's off limits, which is really what helped. I didn't feel like I was dieting.
It's funny how when you start to make some little changes, they turn into big ones then. You start to make little shifts and they pay big dividends. And then, once you get started, it just goes from there.
I am no longer a black and white, all or nothing thinker. For everything in my life, it's that now that I was able to do this with respect to food, I'm able to do it with everything else.
It was letting go of the thought that it didn't matter how much I lost. It was just about having the journey and changing my inside. And once that happened, I knew, and you said that, it will come off.
That was one of my biggest successes, I think, was getting out of the habit of thinking that all is lost if you just make a mistake or two. And I think with Lisa, one of the things that was really important was, you can indulge from time to time.
This has been easier than the way I used to live. Forget any other way I've ever tried to lose weight. This is I don't know how to even describe it. This is the most freeing, liberating experience that I've waited. I'm like, 65, I had to wait till now.
You are looking at someone who went from, eating a whole pizza, a big one, and some ice cream, a lot, and that was dinner part 1. And I'm not exaggerating, serious binge eater for many years. I could eat more than anybody I knew. And to go from that to learn how to now be able to go down the street for a gelato where they have really good ones. And my only thinking about it is, which flavor do I want? And I get a little cup, not because I think I should only have a little cup, but because, a little cup will do it. It'll do it. And it truly does. And if anybody had told me that I would be able to say that today, I would have never believed it. But because it's all a matter of, I've changed my thoughts and I don't view food the same way anymore. I view it really just as it's just food.
I feel so great, and it's such a relief to say that. And I've honestly, even a month in, although I wasn't at my lowest weight, I still felt great. And that's because I was reducing certain sugary things and just not binging and waking up full. So those are just some of the many things that have changed for me.
Like, I can't tell you how much life-changing this has been for me. And I knew that it was because when my husband walked out on me, that was like it was such a shock to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive this? And I didn't go back to using my food as emotion. That to me was like such a win.
The investment to me is, and I've had years of psychotherapy. You probably don't even know that about me. I mean, decades. And no one was able to help me with this. So a very good investment.
It's just an amazing growth period for everybody who joins us. I've never encountered anyone, and I think I've met now a lot of people who have been through your program, and I've never had any of them say it wasn't a life-transforming process. Because I really feel that strongly about this. This is a life-changing experience for me, and I think anybody who does it is going to really not ever regret it. I certainly don't. It's a very, very good program.